Welcome back to Unhinged Bookish Thoughts with Karrie and Liz. Listen,
you
Karrie.
did that weird. What are you doing?
Listen, Karrie. Guys, I'm back to it. I'm back, and I'm not better than ever, but I am back.
You are better than you were, though, because you're no longer in school.
True.
You finished your year of school. Congratulations. Yeah.
Or did the year finish me? Because
I think it was a mixture of both. You have a 4.0. You finished it. Give yourself a round of applause.
Woo!
You got a 4. Okay, everyone. We all need to cheer on Karrie for a second. We're going to brag about her, okay? She has a 4.0. She works full time. She is a parent. She is a wife some days to multiple people like me.
Yeah.
Some days. She does a podcast. She reads. She maintains social media. And then she's like, I don't know. Kind of. Some days.
But yeah, school's done. So now I can really focus in as much as I can on this and reading again. Because your girl did not read much. Remember in the episodes before this when I said, I'm going to get Liz to read hockey romance, she goes, okay, bet. Not only did she read 1, she read 2. And she liked it.
I did. Which is even, I think, more shocking than anything.
Yeah, it is quite shocking.
So, it's most shocking.
It's all about finding the right one. I sent you several choices.
Yes.
And you did kind of feel them out, but we did land on one and you liked it.
You sent me several of them and I read the most highlighted quotes and most of them went, no, I'm not going to read that. And you're like, why? And I sent it the reason. You're like, never mind.
Things that I probably wouldn't have minded, but I knew you wouldn't like it. So
I'd be like, nah. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
We read technically book 2 and book 4 of the Toronto Terror series by Helena Hunting. The book titles are If You Want Me and If You Love Me.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
If You Love Me, yes. If You Want Me and If You Love Me. I have my tablet with my Kindle highlights on it because it goes over to Goodreads. That's my favorite part of my Kindle. And so I do have my unhinged comments from what we were reading.
I have notes pulled up on the iPad here and then my Kindle here because I was I'm going to be prepared. But yeah, Helena Hunting actually, she had the Pucked Over series or Pucked or something like that. It was the first audiobook I ever purchased. Fun fact for everybody at home. So Helena Hunting, she's a big name in the game when it comes to sports romances. I know her and love her. This was your first time reading Helena Hunting, right?
Yeah, I think it's I haven't read many hockey romances in general.
Yeah.
I think technically the only, I would say, real hockey romance was Icebreaker that I can think of off the top of my head.
Right.
Other than that,
you liked that one, right?
Yes. Also, preface little star on that. I did read it at the very beginning of my reading journey. So if I would read it now, I don't know if I would, which is kind of why I'm hesitant to read the rest of the series because I'm like, my taste has evolved quite a bit from 2022, 2023. I don't read the same stuff anymore. So I don't know if I'd like it. Who knows?
I also want to give context that prior to Liz reading these, you didn't even really want to touch romance for a little bit because every time you tried picking it up, it just was not fulfilling. So I was nervous, but I myself, I have read all of the books up until this point now. For anybody that's listening that wants to know, book 1 is called If You Hate Me. They are all standalones that are interconnected. So Liz she actually read book 4 first and then book 2. So you can do it. Just know that it might be spoiled a tiny bit. But
I really don't think it's spoiled. It made me, and we talked about this with Out on a Limb, if you like the side characters enough, you'll want to go read the other ones.
Yeah.
And that was exactly the case with this. I read the 4th one and said, I really like these 2 characters. Do they have their own story? And you said yes. And I said, okay, bet. And I'm going to read that one too. And so that's why I wanted to go read it. They were fun. They were entertaining.
Which let's just dive into it then. The characters that you were talking about are Hollis and Aurora. You could also call her Peggy. You could also call her Hammer. Also Princess. Like, she's got several names in the book.
Several.
So this is book 2. If You Want Me. This is an age gap hockey romance. It's the dad's best friend. And yeah, how about we dive into the things that you liked? Because I obviously could go on and on for hours, but I think everybody is shocked
that I liked it. I know.
So,
well, because like all the stuff in it, like you would look at like the laundry list of things and be like, this is not something that list would like. Hockey, sports romance. I mean, okay, but like not at the top of my list, right? Age gap, usually not something that I'm cool with. And it's like dad's best friend, also usually not something I'm cool with. But the found family in this was so good. I'm obsessed with this hockey team. They're like the funniest. I want to be part of this hockey team because they're so great. But like the banter between these characters, fucking hilarious. It's so funny. I'm like, what is happening? The opening of book 2. I just have a note that said, that's one hell of an opening chapter. That was one opening. I was like, what? Where are we going with this?
And because we want you guys to read it, we're not going to say what the opening is, but it is something.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining. And then the following chapters that come with it, absolutely hilarious. I can read my laundry list of notes if you would like, because the next one comes in, let's see, 5%. So right off the bat. It's when she goes to lunch, when Aurora goes to lunch with her dad and Hollis. And it says, I love that your dads take you out. And I go, assuming these two are gay for each other is perfect, because you've got 2 giant hockey men. And the waitress just automatically assumes that they're a gay couple taking their daughter out for lunch. And I was cackling because I'm like, because these two are like, no. I think later on, Hollis is like, I like pussy. I was like, why? He just all of a sudden blurts it out.
I think those are the moments that make it so fun, though. It's not just instant like spice and like romance.
Yeah,
you get a lot of really funny build up between all of the characters. It's hilarious.
Yes. Let's see what else. There was something it was at the end of one of the chapters. Oh no, hold on. Oh, the name of her vibrator.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just have that highlighted and it says, what a name.
You should share that with the class. That's not giving anything away.
She has a vibrator. I'm telling you it's 6%, okay? So if this tells you anything about how this starts, we're talking about her vibrator, and its name is Bat Dick. Okay? I'm cackling. I was cackling. Not even gonna pretend like it wasn't. I'm just gonna go down my list if that's okay, because these are funny.
Yeah.
This just says, your jet placement is perfect. And it just says, ma'am.
Okay, but that's honestly so true.
I know, but like she's like, what? Your jet placement is perfect. And he's like, what? She's like,
I also, but in the scene where she's like, he's watching her from the cameras, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head, it just does not look sexy. In my head, I just imagine her like leg up, you know?
Some like contortionist kind of thing.
Like, yeah. And just
weird
up above
movements,
her head, and just the shower
just beating down on her.
Yeah,
that does not sound fun. The next, I assume they're the end of the chapter. I'm only saying that because when it's the end of a chapter, I usually just highlight the word to make notes. So like the last word of a chapter says yet, and so I just highlight it and I type like my thoughts on it, and it just says Hollis is really trying to behave here.
That could be taken in so many ways.
He was really trying to behave. I actually don't know what this goes to, so I might need to grab my Kindle or go into the app. It just says morning wood he's rocking. I don't know. I should have highlighted more, but that's all it says. And I just said, that wood's for you, baby girl.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I have puking emojis or something that I didn't like. It was something gross.
Do they wake up together?
I don't know what it's to. It was 11% in, so it's very early. Hold on. I have the Kindle app on my tablet for this very reason, so that I can go in and figure out what the fuck I was talking about, because actually, no, I won't be able to see it because I already returned those.
Just know that was something that she commented.
She, yeah, so there's a lot of morning wood. There's a lot of wood. It's like a forest of wood.
A lot of aching.
A lot of aching. Oh, yes. A lot of aching. Regret telling her to put on one of my hoodies because her nipples were two beacons I can't stop staring at. This woman does not wear a bra, like, at all. And it's specifically to torture Hollis. And it's like the funniest thing. She's like, oh, get up. He's like,
yeah. Will say, side note to this, everything that Aurora does is like very thought forward when it comes to Hollis. Like, especially sexually, that girl knows what she wants. Which is a little, it kind of throws me off because of the age gap. She is 21, so I'm like, she does some things that like young 21-year-olds do that might be annoying to adult, like not adults, she's an adult, whatever, you get what I'm saying, to older people, but like when it comes to the sex, she knows what she wants, and that sometimes threw me off just a little bit.
Because she was way more mature in that field than I was expecting for her. Like, I expect her to be more experienced. Does that make sense?
Right.
To, like, already know what she wants from, like, this older guy.
Yeah, I was shocked by, like, how much she knew what she wanted and how much confidence she had going into it. Does that make sense?
I mean, I wish I had her confidence at that age.
I will say, I did appreciate that. I love a woman that knows what she wants, so I did like that. I think the issue is how heavy the daddy's girl thing was being played into.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, she's kind of immature, but then I see this other side of her with Hollis, and I'm like, wait, she's actually not that immature. It was a little...
No.
It was a little hard.
It was like a hot and cold kind of thing. Like, it was kind of weird. It just says, the building tension, the edging.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know what this... The scrunchie.
The scrunchie.
Yeah, I just said he did not.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into details on that because this is why we want you to... Scrunchy. Yeah. And I said, excuse me? And I immediately sent you a message on Snapchat and said, excuse me?
We'll say, could have been worse.
Could have been way worse. Could have been way worse.
Could have been way worse.
I have multiple comments in a row that says, someone's jealous.
Yeah.
Very warm, very thick, very strong thighs, and pressing it against the exceptionally prominent bulge behind his fly. It just is a sir. Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
I just love that we know they are thick boys, and I love that.
Oh god, yes. Yes. There was so much like tension between these two, like the hot cold, like my next comment just says, girl, you are playing with fire. Keep doing it. Because it's like going back and forth, and it's like she's like, no, let's move forward with this, and he's like, no, you're my best friend's daughter, we can't be doing this. And she's like, maybe we can. And then they're like, maybe we can't, maybe we can. So there's like that back and forth of like, not, I wouldn't call it forbidden, but like those like kind of aspects of it. And it's like it just builds that like tension, right?
I also think, just so everybody's aware, this is an age gap. However, Peggy is 21. Yes. Sorry, Aurora's 21. He's 33.
I believe so, yeah.
The dad,
Hollis' 40.
Best friend, is like, yeah, he's 6 years older, so 39 and 40. So just know that there's an age gap between all three of them. The dad and Hollis aren't together, but just know that the dad and Hollis aren't. I would read that.
I mean, they do kind of act like partners, though. Like, yeah, that's like it, but it's not so much as like partners. It's very much like they are best friends.
They're
like,
best friends.
Best friends. They are coworkers. They're best friends.
Teammates.
They're together all the time.
They live in the same apartment.
They live in the same apartment. They live across the hall from each other. Like they love each other.
Yeah, it's
like
family.
They're just like bros to the extreme, and I love their dynamic too. Even though I think that toward everything when it came out, I was like, you're reaching a little bit.
Yeah, I have notes for that, and we'll get into that. I think
you're reaching a little bit. My next ones are getting like, oh, that's a difference that don't even know what that's to. My next ones are towards the end though. So like when everything started going apart, and I said, I just have she's getting upset. Her getting upset is an overreaction. This is fucking stupid. And then my last one is something I also sent to you in Snapchat that just said, "You had your finger in her ass, my dude."
Yep.
That part I can't get out of my head. And like, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I don't care how good a book is. If something like pulls me out of the story a little bit, and it's like, what? That is where my brain locks.
It's funny, like, what details you can really hold on to.
Yeah, and it's usually the weird things, like that one. I'm like, okay, sir, you didn't wash your hands before you got into that elevator?
No.
And then you were talking to her dad?
Because to me, it's not the same as, like, if he finger blasted her and then he's like, I'm gonna keep this scent on me.
Yeah.
You know? This was, like, in her asshole.
Like,
which, like, no judgment. But put your finger in the butt.
But wash your hands.
Correct.
But, like, wash your damn hands, dude. Yeah. I was like... He's like, I think the line's like, my fingers still smell of Aurora. I was like, dude, it was in her butthole.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not.
Couldn't.
The funny thing is I did not connect with that until you said something. And then
you're like, oh my God. That's why my brain sucks. Okay. But let's get into the, like, the part where we're like, we get it, but we don't get it kind of section.
Yeah, because I will say all of my notes are just certain things that I didn't like. Because I don't usually outwardly say that I don't like things, but I'm willing to talk about it because overall I did like this book. Just there were some reactions to things that I was like, So one of my highlight notes is... I'm going to read the highlighted section, and then I'll read my note. Because honestly, I don't think it's... Yeah. It says, you have it backwards, Dad. He tried to maintain boundaries, but I kept pushing it. Aurora says that to Roman, her dad. I noted I don't love this line. The reason why I don't love this line, I think, was because I don't like that she was fully taking, like, not the blame. There's nothing to be blamed about.
Responsibility for everything.
Yeah. I don't like that she was fully taking the responsibility, but also it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Because Hollis was still getting blamed, like, 100%.
Yeah,
And then my next one is a quote where it says, we're both in such a transitional place in our lives, Aurora. You're so young and you have so much growing to do. In all caps, I commented, that's a cop-out. That scene
I rolled my eyes so hard at that part. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Hollis?
Literally, you go through this whole sequence showing that she's this adult, that she's an empowered woman. You're trying to get Roman, the dad, to understand this, and then he turns around and says that to her.
I know. Yeah.
I was upset.
Yes. Rightfully so.
I did say when, obviously, the dad and Aurora make up, and he said, I'm sorry I made it impossible for you to be honest with me. I highlighted that and was like, this times 100, because ultimately that was the issue.
Yes.
And then if he's not going to fight for you, he doesn't deserve you. I agree with that as well, because after Hollis made that dumbass comment, I was like, you aren't worth our time.
No. No, something that just like popped in my head for someone, I think maybe I said this while we were like discussing it back and forth on Snapchat, but for someone who has been in therapy since I think she was like 6 years old, this woman has a inability to communicate her emotions and her feelings. The whole, I don't want to tell my dad because I'm afraid like he's going to send me back or something like that. I'm like, you've been in therapy for the last 20 years. Why haven't you talked to that, like, with your therapist, woman?
Yeah, but I think it's just with her dad that she can't express it. Because it seems like in every other facet, even when she was talking to her mom, she had confidence. It's just her dad.
It's just her dad. And I also don't understand why she has such, like, issues with her dad, but not her mom.
I think... But I do think in some ways she did explain it. Because remember when she was like, my dad has given so much and I feel like I'm taking his best friend from him? That part did stick out to me. But it also felt like a really weird input because this entire time I never got that impression.
No.
I never got the impression that she was like, oh, I feel like I'm taking one more thing for my dad because he had me when he was young. To me, it was just you were scared of getting caught. That's what.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Because he never once acted like, I could understand like having that like not wanting to upset your dad because he's given you so much. However, Roman is the type of dad who's like, oh, you need this, let me just give it to you. It's not like she was a spoiled brat. You know what I mean? Like, she's not like constantly asking her dad for stuff. Like, she was in college, like getting a degree, like got her own internship, is like working towards getting a job, right? Like, she's doing this all on her own. Her dad has nothing to do with it. And Roman never once is like, no. You know what I mean? Like, he never is like, you can't ask me for that or anything. Like, he's always like, yeah, let me have it. Like, this man goes on a spiral because he thinks that Roman's towels are better than his, and he messed up Aurora's life because he gave her the wrong towels growing up, okay?
Yeah.
He's like, did I mess up? Should I have gotten you better towels? Were you at a disadvantage because I didn't give you big enough towels? This man went on a 5-minute spiral about towels. And you're afraid to, like, just communicate with him because you don't want to take one more thing away from him.
Yeah.
Girl.
I would say Aurora isn't spoiled. She's rich with love.
Yeah.
Like, Roman will die for this girl.
Yes.
And so, okay, that's part of our little, like, tangent, was just kind of how Roman reacted, how Hollis reacted to everything going down, which that's not a spoiler. That's, like, everybody knows that that's going to happen in the book. There's going to be that peak. The other thing that we had an issue with was certain comments made by the mom and also Roman when they find out that Hollis and Aurora are together, which I want to preface, in real life, valid reactions.
Yes.
In the book, it just kind of took me by surprise. I didn't hate it. I just was kind of shocked by it.
Yes.
And
agreed.
it's the comments of, they kind of questioned if Hollis groomed Aurora, which, again, I think the way that the mom handled it, I was fine with. When she then went behind Aurora's back and then, like, went and talked with Hollis, I thought that part was a little weird. Yeah. Because it did kind of come off like the mom was, like, trying to pressure Hollis into telling Roman whatever. The mom just, like, kind of had some anxiety when she found out that Hollis and Aurora were together. And you could tell she was like, well, you know.
They kept putting the blame on Hollis, which was kind of weird. I'm like, anytime he brings it up to Aurora to, like, go tell Roman, she, like, starts crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, oh, I don't want to make my baby cry, better stop.
Yeah. And I do love that Hollis pushed to try and not lie for so long. I do think that the way that the mom reacted was fine because, like, you want to make sure your kid's not being groomed, obviously. Yeah. I just think that the way that Roman, like, spit it out was just a little shocking, which I'm not going to say that it's wrong that Roman questioned it because anybody can groom someone. Yeah. But I just wasn't expecting it in the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it felt out of character. Yeah. Because, like, you have trusted this man for the last, like, 7-8 years. Like, never once did you have any inkling that something was going on. And then you're just like, were you doing things to my child before she, like, was an adult? Like, what?
Again, totally valid in real life.
Yes.
But I love the sentiment.
Like, and then they wouldn't get off of it kind of thing. Like, he's like, did he do, like, he kept asking, like, did he do this to you? Like, he assumed, like, I don't know. In my brain, I'd be like, did you do it? Like, kind of like, give me the full story. Yeah. And, like, it was automatically, like, assumed it was grooming. I was like,
I feel like for the situation that we were in.
Yeah.
I just was like, this feels weird that this is what is being assumed. Because usually when you read these types of age gaps with brothers, best friends, like, the dad has a crash out, but then he gets over it. Grooming, I don't think has ever been brought up, which, again,
I love that, though. Yeah. And that's like, I think that was the nice aspect of it, that it was touched on, but I feel like it was dialed up further than it should have been. And that sounds really bad. It sounds like I'm like wanting to lessen it, but it's the characters. If you read the book, you understand like these characters, you would never once assume, especially the relationship between Roman and Hollis, like people think they're gay together. Like, and never once would you think that.
Right. And I think too, like, because of how dialed it up it is in the moment, and then it's like, boom, you're about to have your happily ever after. It just is like, oh, we're moving on from this comment.
Yeah. It's whiplash, right? Like bit, it feels, it was like, it went from like nothing to like 100. And then within 24 hours, it was back down to nothing. And then it was just like skipped over. It's
and I bet a lot of people probably didn't pick up on it quite like we probably did, but we both had comments about it, and I just feel like I had a hard time kind of like moving away from that comment because it's intense, and it was fine. It was like I said, we did obviously love the book, but I think that element kind of threw me for a hook. I was just like, oh, this hockey romance is going there, okay. You know,
off the deep end. I do like, because I think you're right. It's not mentioned that much in like when it is like a best friend situation. Even I would say like brother's best friend kind of situation, like when there's an age gap there too. I don't think it's really ever touched on. So yes, I'm very glad that they touched on the grooming aspect. I just think for the characters and how it happened, I'm just like, it was one of those moments again that just like pulled me out of the story. I'm just like, no.
And it like almost makes you go, wait, should I have been questioning this for grooming a little bit?
Yeah. But I wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't up until then. I think the mom mentioning it, I was like, okay. But then for Roman to do it, that's what jarred me. The mom doing it, I was like, yes. But anyway.
Because she was not around that much. And so, yeah, like she being concerned, like, did Roman miss something? You know, I'm not here. I can't protect my kid, blah, blah, blah. But Roman, like, I don't know, jumping to conclusions.
Yeah. Like, and it's also because like Roman and Hollis have an age gap as well. So
yeah.
And we also were talking about how Roman was like, I told you to stay away from hockey boys. You and I both were like, come on, Dad. She's only around sexy hockey men. What do you mean?
You have raised her in the hockey world, and then you like get mad at her for wanting to be with someone who plays hockey. It's like, you deserve someone who's going to be around. I'm like, are you saying you haven't been around for your daughter?
Yeah.
I'm like, you talk about how much of like an active dad you are and how you guys have always been together, like all of this stuff. And then you like turn it and you're like, you should have a man that's with you all the time. Okay, understandable. But also, Hollis is about to retire.
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's also like, for people being gone that much, like, girl is fine. She's independent. And then you guys are with each other the moment you get back. Like,
yes,
you're fine. She's used to you being gone, so why wouldn't she be used to your partner?
Yeah. And like, you're gone the same amount of time as Hollis, so...
Yeah. And then she gets to cheer both of you on.
Yeah.
I feel like the reasons why it could have been concerning is because it's like, you are my dad's best friend. If we break up, this is gonna suck. That should have been like...
That should have been it. Like, what will happen if you don't stay together?
Yeah, and the peak is, like, Roman finding out that his best friend got with his daughter. There were just some added elements that were just...
There was some added drama during that whole situation that I'm like, this was unnecessary.
Yeah. But we did love it.
Yes, we did love it. I still would give it, like, a 4-star or so. I don't usually do halves, but, like...
Let's all give a round of applause. Because I am shocked that you gave... the hockey romance 4 stars.
I would say that both of them got 4 stars. I don't know which one I liked better. I liked them both. And I'm looking at my comments for the next one, for the 4th one, and realizing that Helena starts her books on just, you're in it. You don't get any lead up. You are figuring out what the is happening while you're reading. She just like tosses you into the story. You're like, yep, these all have backstories. There you go. Figure it out. And it's the funniest thing.
I'm gonna be honest. Hollis and Aurora's story was a 4 for me. That's the
if you
want me.
If you want me, yes.
Roman's story, Roman and Lexi, they were a 5.
Roman
is so fucking hot.
I love it.
I love a daddy. I don't love saying it.
I don't love saying it, but it's so funny.
I just want to zoom in on your face of when I said that. The way you just
have so many notes on. I was really trying. I did put. Oh my god! Look at me. I have on the very end of "If You Love Me," I have a note that says "Final Thoughts."
Oh, give it.
Look at that. I'm not gonna give it right away. Let's go through my notes first. Okay, so we're gonna be. We both loved. I loved it. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with the series. I maybe take a break from it. Maybe I'll come back and read the other ones. But there's not really anybody else that I liked. I like all the characters. Do I want to keep reading them? Maybe. We'll see. It'll be a slow read.
It's too bright. I would be fine if you quit reading this one, so then I could get her to read Chelsea Curto.
Oh, that's true.
So,
what's this one about?
If You Love Me, this is Aurora's dad, Roman. Okay, from what we were just talking about. This is Roman's story. This is the goalie and the assistant coach. It's a little bit, you could say workplace, you could say it, well, it's not forbidden, but I guess if you're concerned about a workplace. It's like a one-night stand. How much of an age gap is it?
12 years.
12 years age gap.
I think it's 12.
They had a
or no, is it shorter or is it smaller? She's younger. She's closer in age to Hollis and Aurora. I think she's in between Hollis and Aurora's age.
So she's in her 30s maybe.
She's
end of 20s.
Late 20s, I think, because he's 40, 41 or something like that in this one. And then Hollis is in his mid 30s. Is that why I like Hollis so much? Probably makes more sense. Yes. Continue.
Age gap. She's technically his boss. She's the assistant coach. They have a one-night stand, and then it's 3 years later, I think.
Yes.
And holy shit, she is now the assistant coach. This is also his last year playing, I think.
Yes, he's retiring.
God,
last
he's so
season. And this is perfect segue to my first comment. It says, my entire world inverts because the woman of my dreams, the one who disappeared without so much as a goodbye note, just became my fucking boss.
I have that highlighted too.
Also, one note that I didn't say yet about Hollis, okay? He has 2 cats. Hollis is a cat dad. He has a cat named Posty and Malone.
It's so cute.
I love it. Cute. That's how that entire story starts, is Aurora's babysitting the cats.
And we have to talk about the scene where he's trying to go down on her, and the cats keep trying to jump on the bed, and he's trying to throw the toy to get the cats to go away.
The fucking cats. There's 2 cats, and they're across both of these books because obviously they're all still hanging out and talking. So you get cats. So if you're a cat person, I'm not even a cat person, and I love these cats. They're hilarious. They're great. They're little side characters. They're fantastic.
They're so cute.
Yes. And then, okay, so the first one was, he was saying that she's now his boss. Now the second one is now her talking, okay? Well, hold on. My note to the first one, I go, well, we have some lore already. Scandalous. So scandalous. The next one says, owner of my fucking body, provider of magical orgasms, biggest dick I've ever had the pleasure of trialing and failing to deep throat, but my effort was applauded, appreciated, and rewarded with multiple orgasms.
The best thing is I'm quoting these, and I don't even have them pulled up. I just know the ones that you're talking about.
That I've ever received in one weekend. And I said, this description does not shock me. However, what does he look like? Not his dick.
You just know that Roman unzips his pants and it just
an elephant just flops on out. So this is the first 2 chapters. Okay, so you get immediately dropped into the story. Like we were just saying, you get immediately into the story and you're like, what the fuck happened between these 2? What's going on? I think this is the most highlighted quote for this book. And it says, I'd say it's nice to see you again, but next words out of his mouth destroy me. I don't lie.
That one hurt me.
That one hurt. Oh, this one. Okay, this one's really funny. Okay, I have to say this one because it cracks me up. My eyes flare. We had salted caramel dipped apples the first night we spent together. A lot more than fruit was dipped in that sauce. Okay, hold on. My comment is violating caramel sauce. Did he dip his dick in it? That's just asking for a UTI.
I will say, and instantly all I could think of was him just dunking his balls. Not his dick, just ball into... I don't...
He was teabagging the caramel sauce?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so funny. It's because they like each other or also they hook up. Oh, I know what that is. That's about, okay. There's underlining drama in this book, okay? And there are 2 hockey players. Okay, this is like going on. Like you get a little bit in book 2, and I'm assuming book 3 has it as well, but book 4, the gentleman that was in the other ones that was like from another team, he now has been traded to the Terror, which is the hockey team. They're the Toronto Terrors. Mm-hmm. These 2 gentlemen, they went to hockey academy together and they hate each other. They fight all the time. They're not getting along. No one knows the story. And so it was making up why they got into fights. So I said because they like each other or also they hooked up. So I was like, did these 2 bang in like the academy? Is that what it was? That's not what it was.
But also, I was like, because they say it's a sandwich.
Yeah.
And so I was like, did they both fuck the same girl at the same time?
Yes, that was one of my other thoughts too. I was like, ooh, did they like hook up with? Did they threesome? And then it was like went bad or something? That is not what happened.
We are such like fictional whores because we're like, did they fuck?
Did they fuck? Are they gay?
Are they fucking each other?
No, they don't want anyone to know. We were like creating drama, and that was not it whatsoever. I laughed so hard when the story comes out. Oh my god. My next one that I highlighted, it says as if the practice boners aren't bad enough, and I just said hiding a boner under all that padding.
Oh my god.
Because he's like full hockey suit, like full on, they're in practice, and he's like just has a raging boner the entire time.
Can we also talk about Roman's fantasy of having her like entwined in his goalie net? And I was like, what? Roman, you're so hot. Like, what the fuck?
He wants to get in on it with the hockey shit. He's like, I pictured it as like he sat her on top of it. That was my image of it. So like the bars, like she was there and it was like a feast and he was just standing there like.
But my imagine was he gets her up there. She's butt ass naked apparently. It's probably cold as fuck on that bar. Yeah. But then I imagine her laying all the way back, like with her arms like entwined in the nets.
With some kind of like but what the fuck is that with the rope? Why can't I think of the name of
bondage.
It right now? Like no, like there's an actual term for like it's in Cleo's
nodding. Not nodding. I meant nodding of rope.
Yes, what's it called? It has a word. Where's Ariel when we need her?
I said bondage. Is it not bondage?
No, it's not bondage. It's a certain type of like
of bondage.
Yes.
When he's talking about this fantasy though, he said he's fully in his gear, so I just imagine the helmet open. She's butt ass naked, entwined in the rope. This is what like, my
going down.
And he's just like,
he's like full on like coming up, just flipping his mask up and like going to town while she's like, I don't know, having all the blood rush to her brain.
Which again, so hot. But in my head, this is where my head goes. Sometimes.
This is where her head went. The next one, they're like talking, and he's just like, "Fuck," kind of like that. Mm-hmm. And I said his fuck was so visceral. These two just need to bang in secret, and it will be fine. Just get it out of the way. She would love for you to come. His jaw works. And what about you? Would you love to come with me?
Liz said come this time.
I did.
You and I just clip it.
Because he's like looking right at her. He goes, would you like to come? And she's like,
he's so hot.
He's just like staring her down. She's like, sir.
I remember at one point he calls her like his perfect doll, and then he calls her a good girl, and I was like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh, this one's funny. Oh, wait, hold on. This team is so fucking sweet. I can't take it. I hate myself for liking them and this dynamic. I did. I was like, I hate that I like this.
They're all, like, goofy together, but
yeah,
you kept saying and, like, reiterating, they're emotionally, like, intelligent and available.
Yes.
And we loved that.
I think one thing we haven't mentioned yet is Lexi has guardianship of her 2 younger sisters.
Yes. 17 and 7.
Yes. Her mom and their dad, so her stepdad, died in a car accident. And boating accident. I thought it was a car accident.
No, it was a boating accident. I did highlight that because I was
is there a lake there?
Yeah. Well, she transferred though. Remember that.
My brain was like, there's no lake where they lived, but no, because there is. Because didn't they live near the academy and there's like a lake? No,
I highlighted it
because the second academy is going is there's a lake there. That's what it is. I was
really confused. It said my stepdad were killed in a boating accident, and I was like, what were they doing?
Wait, wasn't it on New Year's? It was near Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember, but it does say...
No, it was near Christmas, wasn't it? No, it couldn't have been. I think maybe it was
in Windsor for 2 years and Niagara for a year. I took the position with the women's team because my mom and stepdad were killed in a boating accident.
Okay. That's so... I did not. I thought it was a car accident.
Okay, literally... Doesn't matter, but we're both
like... Wait, what?
Let us
now I'm like, where
the
fuck did that happen? Now I'm wanting to like put the pieces together like it's an actual like element of the story. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's like a side thing. But she is the guardian of these kids that have very like she's also grieving. They're grieving. They're now moving into a different place because she got a really nice job. She got this opportunity to be like the first female assistant coach in like the NHL. Like obviously she's going to take it. And so everyone is trying to make it like the best that they can. And so it's like the sweetest thing. They're just like, oh, let's do this for them. Let's do this for them. And it's like the one guy like realizes it's her birthday and he's like, we have to make her a birthday party. He's like, I'm going to throw the best birthday party ever. And then he starts like panicking and having this like anxiety attack because he's like, is she gonna like it? Is the cake enough? And they're like, hey buddy, it's fine. The cake is fantastic. He's like, I don't know. Maybe I should have done more. You're cute. Stop it. Stop it. So there's a guy flirting with Lexi in the gym. And Roman goes, you're not her type.
What's that?
And she's like, stop it. And he's like, what? He's not. But I'm not wrong here, am I? She's like, shut up.
You know, I haven't been able, this is such a tangent.
Yeah.
But I have to say it. I have not been able to look at a gym scene
since Crescent City.
How did you know?
Because I know you.
How did you know that's what it is? Out of all the books.
Because that scene, that's how, yes. I have not been, because you think of Hunt when he eats out Bryce in the gym and hides everyone with his wings. Yep.
You bet your fucking ass I think about that.
Yep.
Anyway, shit. I didn't.
You're like, well.
I was like, okay, took the words out of my mouth. But yeah, I
think I just found one of your like not tropes. You're one of like things. You're like, ooh. Okay.
Also, the only thing I remember from Crescent City, but no joke, don't remember anything else.
Is Hunt eating Bryce out?
Is Bryce eating? And her wearing like pink shoes or like pink pants or something.
Yeah, she has pink shoes on. So right after, Roman is like, she's not, you're not her type. And like, get the guys to go away, right? Lexi, and this is why I like this, because the banter between everyone and like the comebacks like are so quick with the girls. She's like, what's your plan, Roman? Are you gonna jizz a circle around me every time someone flirts with me? And he's like, I mean, maybe? He like contemplated. He's like, she's like, you're not gonna jizz a circle around me. Stop it. He's like, I could.
Don't put it past him.
Don't.
Because he might.
All the teams started to like like it was mainly Hollis, like giving him the side eye, like, what's going on there? I think it was when the dad mentioned something. Yes, the birthday party. When I was just talking about the birthday party. And her dad's like, did you go to a baseball game in New York? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Hollis is like staring at Roman like, dude, I see you. And then the next thing that happens is, are you gonna tell me what happened in New York? And Roman's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And this is why I love Hollis. Okay, he goes, dude, you're as subtle as a fart in an elevator. I love Hollis so much. He's so funny. He's like so quick-witted. It cracks me up. Some of the shit this man says is so funny.
You know what I loved about that too is that Roman was like, I'm not even gonna acknowledge that comment. He just was like,
just like a fart in an elevator, I'm not gonna acknowledge it.
My God. It was so funny.
So I did have some issues with this. Okay. So this is where it started. This is about 30% in. When I started like question everything between Lexi and Roman, it was very insta-lovey. So I'm like, it's insta-love is kind of extreme. Besides hockey and baseball, do they have any other interest in common?
I do understand the insta-love thing because their past is they had one night of explosive sex.
They had, yes. They had it like 2 nights because it was a weekend, right? So they like got together on like Friday or Saturday. And then, so they had like all through the night the next day, and then she left Sunday morning.
Right. And like really abruptly, like she just left.
Yeah, just fucking left.
So
like she hit it and fucking quit it. Like,
yeah, he didn't know that she knew who he was. So realistically, they knew nothing about each other.
Yeah.
So I can understand the insta love thing, but also man is 41. He's like,
but he's never like he's never dated.
Yeah, because
he had his daughter at like what 18.
Yeah,
and has never dated.
Obsessed with
his daughter. So that's where I'm like, where is the depth in their relationship?
We think too hard for these sometimes.
Because like they don't have anything else. Like they hadn't had any other conversation besides hockey at all. And I'm like, until like late in the book. And I'm like,
you know what's so funny is that I don't ever analyze these books until we start talking about them.
I know you don't. And then I'm like asking you questions and you're like,
I wish you could be in my brain when I'm reading these books because it's just like oh, that's like
elevator music is going on.
Yeah, and then just full on vibing. And then when you and I start reading it, I'm like, wait, why the fuck did he say that? And like, wait, whoa,
why did Hollis say he was a fart in an elevator?
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, what? Like,
do we analyze this deeper?
We look too deep into things together. You do anyway, but together, it's funny.
It's funny. I like to make you think.
No.
I just have to.
Stop.
It's funny. The next thing I have is just a comment that says no. It's because he was sniffing her underwear.
He could have done something to a scrunchie.
I mean, there are certain things like, okay, he shoved her underwear in his face and then was like, smells like mine. This is just me again saying this feels drawn out. I get that they were savoring it, but there's still like, oh, this is the first time they had sex. I'm like, but there's still a kid at home. And they were just like taking forever. And I said, again, I ask, how is their love so deep for 2 days spent together? And the next part just says, the wildest fucking side plot I've ever experienced.
Oh my God.
It was the sandwich. I was like, but also, okay, I'm not gonna explain what the sandwich is. However, I just want to comment on how they figured out what the sandwich ordeal was. And then it turned into like this deep analysis of these men's character and why they were so upset and what the actual symbolism of the sandwich was. And I was like, how the fuck did you get there from a sandwich? I'm all about it, but how the fuck did we land here from a sandwich?
No, but like, yeah, that subplot, I was like, okay.
What?
All right.
I wish they would have banged it out in college.
No,
that would have been better.
I amped myself up way higher than needed for that subplot.
I just said, got it bad starts playing. Got it bad. I'm going to insert that song here.
I don't know what song you're talking about.
How do you know?
Who's it bad?
How do you know? Hold on.
Wait, when was it?
Yeah. I'm aging myself. I know. Hold on. It's Usher, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, You got it.
Got it bad.
You got it bad. I know what you're saying now. I got it.
We can't play too long of it.
I got it.
I'm going to play it for 5 seconds so everybody else knows. Hold on. It's on. I got a commercial.
Should. Is it like that? Let it burn.
Yes. When you're on the phone.
Are we going to get copyright?
And you call right back. Hold on.
Yeah. That's all you guys get. So we don't get fucking copyright.
When the fuck did this come out? Hold on. That's all you get. But that's what I was talking about. Okay, insert that song. There you go. I put Everyone Can See You. Because I think this was when they were at the club.
Hot, though.
And I was
didn't think so?
Yeah, but I was like, everyone can see, like, oh, we're fine. I was like, everyone can fucking see you, dummy. I put next to says, I'm glad Hollis knows. But I also continue to love the dynamic between Peggy and Hollis.
Yeah.
And then it just has melting emojis, an emotionally intelligent man.
I will say, when it comes to when it comes to Hollis and Roman,
yeah,
they both love and bone in very different ways.
They're both very extreme, though.
Very big, extreme men that are fucking. I will say, if you continue this, if you keep going, you'll meet Tristan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the fuck boy.
They be fucking.
Tristan is a fuck boy.
Whoa.
Does he end up with Hemi or whatever her name is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah. No, let me find it now because I
don't remember which one. Well, speaking of Tristan, I have one of my next comments says, Tristan panicking is the cutest thing. I adore how much this team loves these kids. Like, him panicking was, like, so cute. He was like, I just gotta make sure this is perfect. I gotta make sure. And everyone's like, it's okay. It's okay. He's like, I gotta make sure it's perfect. We're like, honey, you're sweet, but you need to settle down, okay?
Tristan gets with Beatrix.
Is that the library one?
No.
That's the library one, right? Then who is she?
Beatrix?
Yeah. Isn't she the one that works at the library?
She, like, comes to move in with her brother. Did that help?
She's Aurora's best friend that lives with, yes.
I think you might be talking about Hemi. Hemi gets with
Tristan and Rex are together, which is B, because and they are together in Aurora, so they're in number 2, so they have to be number 1.
Tristan and B are
Flip
number
is
1.
the fuck boy.
Flip is a fuck boy.
Flip is a fuck boy.
Tristan was kind of a fuck boy.
He was kind of a fuck boy too, yep.
Dallas and Hemi get together.
Okay, that makes more sense.
We don't know what we're fucking talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about ever. We lose track of characters unless there's like a laid out map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We also forgot to mention there's a marriage of convenience in this too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put, he jumped right to the end now, didn't he? And then Aurora just takes over. And I'm like, God, yes, please. And then it just says cream. And I go,
oh my God.
See, these are my notes. They're either like really long, like notes like about what I'm feeling or just says ick.
Oh no.
There's no in between. There's no in between. Okay. So the final thoughts I have on this one is that it says the entire story could have been avoided if Lexi didn't leave in the first place.
Yeah, but where the
she
fuck
just had a conversation. I know, this is true. They could have built their relationship on better grounds and like done it probably in secret through all of the stuff she had going on, right? I also didn't feel like their connection was any more. It didn't run any deeper than hockey and sex. She never described this man other than, man, he's hot and he's got a giant dick.
Honestly, that's really fair. But I could also even kind of say that for Hollis and Aurora. Like, they do kind of feel like surface level. Mm-hmm. You root for them. Like, I loved it.
Oh, yeah. Also, and this is something that I said in another book that we've read, all of the sex scenes in this one were in Roman's POV. I always find that weird, and I don't know why.
Really?
I always find it weird if it's a contemporary romance, or any, like, romance, as I smack my microphone. Any romance.
Stops working.
Yeah, that would be my look. And all of the sex scenes are in a male's POV. I don't know why. It's just, like, I think I'm so used to it always being the female's POV. And so when there wasn't like one or two, right? Like there was several scenes in this book, and every single one was from his POV.
You know what I love though is I do love a male's POV when the male is wrote by a woman. If it was a man making us read the male's point of view from his voice, I probably like there's a 90% chance I wouldn't like it.
Like when there's a mix. Like if it's
Aurora and Hollis had a good mix.
Yes. I didn't comment on it, so you know there was a good mix of it. So it's only when I notice it when it feels very lopsided kind of thing.
Sure.
And I'm like, why is there so many? Can we get like a
hotter when you get both lenses? Don't do this. Stop going like this. This is what you did too. It was like a slow, sensual.
Bad habit of that. I can't myself.
We're dipping balls in caramel, and then Liz is making this.
The come here motion. Can't help it.
Quit saying come.
I take a shot for every time we say come in this episode.
All year. Our end of the year wrap up is just how many times we say come.
That's all. Or are you making weird hand motions?
Except for it's you this time. You're the
Do we
wild
switch
one
personalities?
Guys,
I'm tired.
Romance changed her.
I'm tired. I had a child's birthday party and we went on a 1.5 mile walk today. So
gross.
I'm tired. But overall, I liked it. Again, I said overall 4 stars. So it was good. It was good. I liked them. They were entertaining. I liked the night. I think there wasn't any like, I don't know, there was no blow up in this, right? There wasn't like, they kind of resolved it, like they got ahead of it. I didn't like the like bad guy in this. I thought he was just a giant douche for absolutely no reason. I'm like, you can just say you're a sexist asshole, like it's fine.
Yes.
Because that's his entire personality was that he did not want a woman on the team.
Yep.
I was like, ew. Go
Yeah.
away. So that was my biggest problem with him.
I want to pose the question of, can we get you to read more? Which I think yes.
Probably.
I definitely think that we need to have you read Face Off by Chelsea Curto. I think you would love that. And I'm gonna make you do that.
Here's my question. I'm reading your books. Are you gonna read one of mine?
No.
No.
Incorrect. Let me stop you right there.
No.
Let me stop you right there.
No.
Here's what happens. I don't. I can't.
No.
It's so bad.
No.
Earlier in the month or last month, Liz sends me a list. Like a range of a list.
I sent you 10 books.
And you were like, pick one of these for our buddy read. And I just responded back, I truly don't think it's happening.
No.
I said, I'm going to stop you right there.
Listen, I had Left Up Forever on there. And you told me no.
It wasn't. I said yes to that one though, but it's not out
at the time. You told me no.
But I also think I saw all the other ones and was like,
no.
Fuck
no. I'm trying to get you to read a romantic suspense with me, like a good romantic suspense. That's like full on like mystery, like the perfect like sex thriller book is what I'm trying to get you to read. And you'd be like, fuck.
I am a little more optimistic now that I'm not in school.
Yeah.
I will say, for our buddy reads coming up, we are going to read the new Tara DeWitt release.
So
I actually have it right now. Wasn't supposed to have it, I guess.
No.
I went to my local bookstore and I purchased the book. And I was sending Ariel and Liz a haul of the books that I got. And in caps letters, Liz is like, how the fuck do you have that book? And I was like, what?
Literally.
It comes out May 20th. I purchased it from a store on May 17th. On that store. I did call and let them know, don't have it out yet. I bought the only one they had. I also think we should read Mine by Cleo Evans.
Yes.
I'm very excited for that one.
I'm very excited.
Listen, we have a lot coming up.
We have a lot to read. We also, should we talk about how we tried several books? And these are the 2 we landed on.
Yeah.
We tried a lot of books.
Do we have a list of all of them?
Mainly there was 2 of them that I can think of. We tried back and forth of different books to convince each other to read, and we both were like, no. No, until I said, why don't I just read one of the hockey ones? That makes it so much easier this month.
Yeah.
And you said, fuck yes, please. We tried several books, contemporary, romantasy, and they did not work out. We DNF'd them. It was fine. I DNF'd a lot of books. I won't lie. I've been DNFing like no other. It's been bad. If anyone has like recommendations, we gladly will take them.
I feel like I have a lot of books that I'm excited for, like Mine by Cleo Evans, What Sleeps Within the Cove by Harper L. Woods. I've been waiting for this book for years because I think she got picked up for trad, and then there was kind of like, but I'm really excited to read that one. I might actually just try and reread all of them because at this point there's been so long. And then of course The Curse of NetGalley, where I get really depressed and I go on NetGalley and apply for a bunch of ARCs and then hear nothing for months, and then they decide, let's do it.
I think I deleted my NetGalley.
So smart. I do have an ARC that I'm really excited for Marion Moore that's coming, so I have quite a bit. I really have
nothing.
That's okay. How freeing.
Sure, that's what
I want to read Leave Me Behind though, as well.
That audiobook does not come out until July, I think.
Maybe we'll wait until July then.
Yeah. Let me since I have my Kindle or my tablet right here, let me see. KM. Yeah, because she got picked up trad as well. And her series is going to be now trad. It's getting republished. So here, audiobook sneak peek. Let's look at it. When is it coming out? Oh no, actually I was wrong. It comes out at the end of this month. It comes out next week.
Ooh, so we can try and do that one then too.
I got an idea. Yeah, we can let everyone kind of decide this for us. Should we do 2 reviews in June?
Yeah.
We could do Left Up Forever and Leave Me Behind. Then you get a contemporary romance and a dark romance.
I think we should do it.
I think we should. I think it'd be fun.
I think we could easily handle that.
Oh yeah, me too. As long as they're not like 9,000 pages, I'm good. Honestly, I've been getting through like 1 book a week, I think. I'm reading very, very slow right now.
I want to say Leave Me Behind is like 400 some pages, which isn't awful.
I'm just trying to read like the new books that are like popular right now, like Silver Elite that I DNF'd.
Purchased that, but I know nothing about it. But I did purchase it because I was thinking maybe I would read it.
I have a very unhinged theory. I need you to read it before I tell you anything. I think I did it in the chat, but I don't think you listened to the snaps. No, I think Ariel did. Not. And Ariel was like, oh, that actually makes sense. So thank you, Snapchat, for deleting after a while, because now you don't know my theory. And I need you to read just a little bit. And then you can tell me if you agree.
I have to read it because I purchased it. So I'm going to read it.
And it still begs the question why you purchased that and not Shield of Sparrows.
Okay, I did. See, this is also what happened. When I purchased that Tara DeWitt book, I was walking out of the store and I saw it. And I was like, fuck. And I grab it. That Shield of Sparrows right next to it. And I was like, fuck, I should get this one too. Because it's just really pretty.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I should get it. But then I was like, no, you've got 5 fucking books in this bag already. And you're about to. So I put Shield of Sparrows down and I bought the Tara DeWitt book. Because I knew we were going to read that one for sure. So I was so smart. But I had already bought that Silver Elite one that I know nothing about.
That you know nothing about. But we do know that Ariel loved Shield of Sparrows. Which says a lot because she does not read romantasy.
I also saw someone be like, this is not good. And so I'm like, fuck.
It's okay. Here's the thing. It's a contemporary romance author now in romantasy. It's a very big thing that's happening right now. And I could go on forever about it. I think Devaney does a really good job at her books. Not contemporary romance girl over here, love her books. I've read 2 of her books. I love them. She made me like Surprise Pregnancy. That alone should tell you how good she is. Like Tara DeWitt make me love contemporary romance. That is a very hard thing to do with me. So for her to go into romantasy, I like it. However, I am understanding the current discourse that is going on with a lot of people in the romantasy like backlash kind of thing, where they're like, there's no world building. There's not enough world building. I can see more 2 popular books right now, right? We have Silver Elite and Shield of Sparrows. Silver Elite, I couldn't tell you a damn thing about that book.
Yeah.
Not a single thing. I read 30% of that one. I'm about 30% into or more into Shield of Sparrows. I could tell you more about that. So she's doing a good enough job where I can picture stuff, to a point. It's not like full immersive kind of thing, but I do understand the discourse that's happening there.
I think it's all about how you interpret things too, because like, for instance, like Holly Renee, she was doing contemporary romance prior to stepping in. With Holly Renee, she doesn't do aggressive world building. Like, it's an incredibly consumable type of romantasy. You know what I mean? So I think it also depends how they're marketing it. If they're marketing it like it's gonna be...
there's a whole issue with marketing right now too with certain books. It's got a... So there's a lot of discourse happening in the world of...
I also think some people get mad when authors genre hop, and so a part of me is like, let's not hate on an author because they're genre hopping too. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that that's fully part of it. I'm sure there's other things. I really have been so detached by what's going on, but I do think there are people that hate on it just simply because she wrote something else and she's trying to transition into something else.
Yes, I like it so far. I think it's good. I like her writing though. There's always going to be an element. Devaney specifically always has like a mystery element, I would call it, because she does have... Her one series is romantic suspense. That's like where she's been at, is romantic suspense. So you're going to get the suspense aspect of it in her romantasy as well. And so have I already kind of guessed it? Yes, I have. I also, for Silvery Lee, I didn't read very far into that, as I've already said. And I, in chapter 1, said, this is what I think. And I sent it to Gabby and I said, if I DNF it, I'm going to ask you to tell me if I'm right. And I DNF'd it. I said, okay, now tell me if I was right. She said, yes, you were. I was like, I guessed that in the first chapter.
I think I'm also worried about Silver Elite because this is so stupid, but after I bought it, I saw that it said a dystopian romance, and I don't know that I always fuck with dystopian. I'm going to end up liking it, and that's just what's going to happen.
I don't think you will. I don't think you will, because if you didn't like Amid Cloud and Bones and you DNF'd it because you're like, I don't know what the fuck's happening, you are going to DNF Silver Elite because you will not know what the fuck is happening.
Me is like, should I try doing these books again that I DNF'd because I was so fucked up by school that I'm like, do I give this another shot?
No, we don't have enough time for that. We can't backpedal. We ain't time for that. So, but
anyway,
yes, we're going to be reading now 2 books for June.
2 books.
I'm excited. I'm excited. That'll be my first KM book. So,
and odds are, everybody, we probably won't have a wrap up. We're gonna have to try and do another episode because we just simply didn't read that much at all.
I think I don't even know, 5 books. Hey, we still got 2 weeks left, right? We got this week and next week.
Oh, we do.
We got 2 more weeks. We can read.
Fine.
You're off school.
Well, because now I've read 3. I read Amber Page's books and these 2 hockey books. So we're fine. I thought the month was ending like this week. So
wow. No, we have this week and next week. Because it ends. This is a little bit of a longer month because like we have 4. There's 5 weeks technically in this month. Because there's like an extra, like, there's 4 Thursdays, but there's like 5 Wednesdays or something. It's a little bit of a longer month. So, we still have time. We could read more books.
Yeah. So
not buddy read, so that we can
shut the hell up. Carrie's gonna shut the F up, because
you can read more. You can totally get more books in this week. I believe in you. I want to see you get, I think you probably get 4 more books in.
Easy. I'll be fine.
It'll be great.
I'll be all right.
I'll get Shield of Sparrows done if I'm lucky, because I have multiple very long meetings this week. Love it. And I also have a business meeting on Thursday, and also graduation, and it's the end of the year. It's the end of the school year. We're good. We're good. We'll make it work. So we'll come back the next episode. You'll see us. I don't know. Who knows? We'll be back eventually. We'll do something. But we hope that you will check these books out. They're all on Kindle Unlimited, which is nice because that's how I did the dual reading with Kindle Unlimited and the audiobook. So, and I think those ones, all the audiobooks are exclusive to ACX. So, Audible. So that kind of sucks, but totally understand. So go dual read them. They are narrated beautifully. They're duet narrated. Beautiful. Love it. I think they are. Are they duet? Now I can't fucking remember. Yeah. Are they? I swear to God, I have memory some days. Not today. Not today. But, as always, remember to read what you want and don't be a dick.